Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, gonna give all glory and honor praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakadash. The honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the men that's out here pushing this truth. Alright, Shalom to the elect. Alright, just finna get into this quick lesson. Alright, on why this man Esau Edom, so-called white man, gotta go. Alright, this is video I'm about to play. I'm gonna play like one part of it, you know. And just this video alone is going to explain why this man is not able, he's not fit to rule, you know. Look, it said every major U.S. war crime in 20 minutes. And you see it right here. And you see the comment. It says you'll need a lot more than 20 minutes, you know. And that's true. All right. But look, let's go into it.
Abu Ghraib. The photos from Abu Ghraib are widely known around the world for how disturbing they look, but the background is even darker. To the public, Abu Ghraib was a normal detention and interrogation facility, but it wasn't at all. Inside, there was sexual humiliation to lengths we can't go to for obvious reasons: torture, physical abuse, and rape. There was even the killing of Manadel al-Jamadi, whose body was packed in ice and later photographed with soldiers posing beside it. The shock was immediate and worldwide, so the Bush administration answered quickly, saying that these were isolated acts by a few rogue soldiers. However, organizations like the Red Cross, Amnesty International, and Human Rights Watch said the opposite, claiming this was part of a larger pattern across U.S. prisons in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo. The Red Cross also reported that most Abu Ghraib detainees were civilians with no connection to armed groups. Then, internal documents showed how they were given approval for what were called enhanced interrogation techniques. These documents would be later known as the torture memos, for reasons you can imagine. They argued that the Geneva Conventions didn't apply overseas and didn't classify the detainees as prisoners of war, which allowed them to hold people longer without charges and deny them the rights normally given to prisoners of war. Other orders showed Lieutenant General Ricardo Sanchez authorizing the use of dogs, extreme heat and cold, reversed sleep cycles, and sensory deprivation. Inside the cells, prisoners were stripped naked and forced into humiliating poses, threatened with dogs, beaten, shackled in painful positions, deprived of sleep and warmth, and forced into sexual acts. Taguba recorded one prisoner sodomized with a chemical light. Detainees spoke of acid poured on their skin, being dragged by ropes tied to their genitals, and being mocked. Manadel al-Jamadi, whose death was ruled a homicide, never led to any criminal charges. At the same time, 36 detainees died in insurgent mortar attacks on the prison, which critics said violated the Geneva rule that prisoners should not be kept in active combat zones. In 2006, the Supreme Court ruled that the Geneva Conventions did apply, and 17 soldiers and officers were removed, while 11 were court-martialed. The punishments varied. One guy got 10 years, some 3, and others shorter sentences, or even just reprimands or demotions. External contractors, such as the company CACI Premier Technology, also came under scrutiny. Pretty recently, in 2024, a jury found them liable for conspiring with military police to soften up prisoners through abuse, awarding 3 former detainees $42 million in damages. Jurors concluded that CACI interrogators facilitated mistreatment even if they did not personally carry it out.
All right. So you see that shit, it was over there. And those are so-called innocent civilians, that they was doing it to. People that didn't have no connection, with whatever they had got going on over there. So wait, this is why that this so-called white man gotta go. All right. And within that video, what they was given, there was more other things that he was going into, but they was getting medals of honor and shit. You know, see, so this man gotta go. Here, this Isaiah 33 and 1 NLT. What sorrow awaits you, Assyrians? All right, Assyrians right now is who? Babylon, Babylon the Great. All right, Esau. All right, because what the Assyrians, they were known for their cruelty. All right, and you see the shit that they was, you seen that, you heard that shit that they was doing over there. In that video, that was cruel. Chemical lights putting up, people's butt. What? Uh, Dragging people with a rope by their, by their manhood. Like that's cruel and weird. But But guess what? What sorrow awaits, this place, all right? They're not gonna escape, Yabba Shimon Shah, he's seen everything. And he knows everything that this place, has put out, and done to the earth. Starting off with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But it says, what sorrow awaits you, O Syrians, who have destroyed others, but have never been destroyed yourselves? Yeah, because what? Uh, uh, what? We haven't had, war on this land. That's why it's called, what? In the book of Isaiah 47, virgin daughter, all right, of Babylon, all right? Virgin, basically, meaning, not touched. Or yeah, not touched. This place hasn't been touched. It hasn't been no type of war, here on the American soils. But what America goes throughout all the earth, and what does all types of blood shedding, weirdo acts. You got some weird. This is this man Esau Edom, so-called white man, gotta go. All right. It says, you betray others, but you have never been betrayed. When you are done destroying, you will be destroyed. When you are done betraying, you will be betrayed. All right. And yeah, they're, Esau Edom, through their, MOTB, the micro C hip, what? They're trying to make everybody one. All right. So what? They're gonna be so-called what? United with everybody, throughout, through the micro C hip. But guess what? That ain't, that's gonna forward the prophecy of World War III when you mandate that micro C hip. And guess what? All these nations are gonna shoot their missiles over here to Babylon the Great and destroy this place. All right. So this is what's coming. All right. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 6. It says, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. All right. So yeah, this man smoked the people in wrath. All right. Just slayed the people. All right. Innocent, so-called innocent people, just doing it just to do it. Because they can. All right. And within that video, it was so, people that was doing the crimes, they would go to jail, but what? Somebody will allow them to get freed. So America is totally, a fucked up place. It said, he that ruled the nation in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. All right. So yeah, hey, Esau Edom, this fits Esau Edom, the so-called white man, to the T. All right. They don't teach you about this shit, in school, but rather that what this place is, the best place to live. This place is a God-fearing country. Let me see. James 2 and 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy, that has shown no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. All right. So hey, and through the missiles, through Yahweh Shah shooting the missiles, the nuclear missiles to Babylon the Great, aka America, that's going to show that you dealt, or you show no mercy, because what? It's going to totally destroy this place. All right, there's not going to be one thing standing here in Babylon the Great, aka America. All right. The shit that hey, you watch that whole video, you gonna like, it's like disgusting. Like, god damn, and they was getting rewarded, honorable, or medals of honor and shit, you know. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Yup. So see that north country being Russia, all right, and Russia, all right. Then you're gonna have the ones that help them out, Russia, Iraq, Iran, China, all right. They're all gonna set their bows, all right, their nuclear silos, all right, and what? Shoot their arrows, being the nuclear missiles, all right, to this place, all right. And it says, shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. Basically, what? All the missiles that's destined to hit this place, which is 200 million missiles, they're all going to hit this place, all right? And why is that? Because what? Hey, for all the shit that you have done, throughout the whole earth, especially to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you know, it says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil, all that spoil her shall be satisfied, said the Lord. Because ye were glad, because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer as grass, and your bellow as bulls. All right, and yeah, they was glad at what? Destroying what? Destroying the nation of Israel. You know, to a point where what they would make mockery of us in their in TV shows or whatever. All right, have certain holidays, or Salakia, they was making art. They will, cut off parts of the of our people, and hang it up as a what's the word? Damn, what's the fucking word? Damn, a souvenir, you know. Let me jump down to verse 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. All right. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. All right. Yeah, she has sinned. Hey, Babylon the Great, aka America. Because what? Throughout, hey, this place, America pushes nothing but, things that's contrary to the ways of Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, from the diets. All right, from the social media. Social media is all, it just pushes people to what? Rebel, be rebellious. To go against the natural order that Yahweh Shem Shah wants you to be in. You know, so Yahweh Shem Shah is greatly offended at this place. From every aspect. you know. So what? Yahweh Shem Shah, he's gonna shoot. He's gonna allow the missiles. He's gonna press the button. And shoot the missiles all over here to Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, and this place is going to be totally destroyed, wiped out. You know. So that was pretty much it. Hopefully, this was edifying. Lord willing, I'm gonna give all glory and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the men that's out here pushing this truth. All right, and shalom to the elect. Shalom.